Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido, Loca. Look, it's getting close to our 9th cruise, but I had a pretty traumatic experience after our 3rd cruise that I don't think I've ever talked about. But yeah, today I'm gonna tell you about getting fired for going on a cruise. It's crazy.
Feeling trapped down on the floor, I don't know what for. Feels like I'm gonna lose. Silence takes a hold, I can't let it go. Chain up, no one knows. But I won't let the stormy seas throw me in open water. Let me have my peace and leave me till tomorrow. Wind into my sail, away from things I let go, floating on the waves. We go bottoms up, we go all the way. When you're feeling down, push the pain away. We go bottoms up, we go all the way, and face that shit another day. We go bottoms up.
Okay, so here is the story. If we go all the way back to mid-2016, this is before we even started cruising, and I picked up a job through a company called Signature Consultants, and I went to work for one of the large banks here in Charlotte. So when that contract ended at the end of 2017, I knew I still needed another job. It only took about 2 weeks for Signature to give me a call with another opportunity, and this opportunity was going to be an opportunity to work uptown. Now I'm here in Uptown now, and I don't live that far from Uptown Charlotte, so I was super excited. So I excitedly accepted the opportunity to interview for this job. This was another business consulting job. Basically what I've been doing as a consultant is crunching data, and that was kind of what this job was going to be for. I was pretty stoked for this interview, and a phone interview was set up. Now here was my quandary, and this is where it starts going off the rails a little bit. I knew that I was going to be going on a cruise in about a month. I know that the hiring process takes a couple weeks. So going into the interview, I had some sort of idea that I would probably be starting the job if I got it almost at the same time that I was supposed to go on the next cruise. Should I mention the cruise in the interview? And look, I believe in transparency. I believe in being as honest as possible, even if it's going to hurt you. But in this circumstance, I really needed the job. And I was so worried that if I said anything about this trip coming up, that it might turn them off. They might not even listen to what I had to say. They might not even listen to the Tony B sales pitch if they heard that I needed to travel almost immediately after I started the job. But I was conflicted. There was part of me that said, you gotta be as forthright as possible. You gotta let these people know that you're gonna travel. Let's just say I didn't do that. I crushed the interview. They were super excited for me to come start this job, but I knew it was gonna take a while to onboard, and sure enough, my cruise was about a month away. It was gonna take 2 weeks until I could start the job. I accepted the job. Again, I didn't say anything about going on the cruise. I had to wait 2 weeks before I started the job, and somewhere along those 2 weeks, I reached out to the consulting company and said, hey look, this is gonna be kind of tight. I do have travel planned, and I just wonder if that's gonna be an issue because I have travel planned. It looks like I'm only gonna work there for a week before I go on this vacation that I already had planned. And they said, no big deal. Just make sure that you let them know when you start your job. So I start this job, and I'm assigned to work with this gentleman who's kind of gonna be my informal supervisor. Let's just call him Jerkface. No, let's don't call him Jerkface. Let's just call him Barry. Barry sounds like a good name. It's not the guy's name. So Barry, he's a nice guy. He helps me get set up. He gets me my equipment. He gives me a place to sit, and he invites me out to lunch the first day. So first day lunch, it's always awkward meeting new people, but the guy has an appetite for Japanese hibachi. I'm down with that. And we sit down to have a conversation. So Barry looks at me and he says, hey man, I see that you got some technical skills. I see that you got some business analytical skills. What do you like to do in your free time? Okay, so that opens the door for me, and I spill my guts. I am very passionate about cruising. We'd only been on 2 at the time. Of course, the YouTube channel was just jumping off at that point. We're meeting all you great people. We're making friends virtually. I am super excited about cruising. I am a devotee. I am a preacher of the cruising gospel. And so I cut into this guy, Barry. I say, hey man, we love to go cruising. Oh yeah, what do you like about cruising? Oh, it's the best way to vacation. You pay in advance. You get to do all this stuff. It doesn't matter if the people you're with aren't into it. There's so many options. You get to see foreign countries and the ships. Oh my gosh, the ships. So I go on and on. He's like, really? So this is what you and your wife do? And I'm like, yeah, and beyond that, we make YouTube videos. We're out there building community. We're out there making friends on the internet. We're out there, we're having a blast. It was also during this lunch with Barry that I let him know that I did have travel planned. I know it was my first day. And he said, no big deal. You know, you're gonna be new in the job. Go ahead, make sure you take your trip. Is it a cruise? Yeah, it's a cruise. No big deal. So it was an innocuous lunch, a good time. And we went back to work. I was scheduled to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then after Wednesday, I would be leaving and going on my cruising adventure. So I worked all those days, and it was a good experience. I was learning the environment, I was doing work. So I worked with Barry for 5 days, and on the last day, and this is what I do, this is what I tell my kids to do, is that whenever you're working, especially when you're new, just do a sanity check with the people that you're working with. So on my last day there, I said, hey Barry, of course I'm starting my vacation tomorrow, just wanted to check in. How's it been for these 5 days? Are you getting from me what you need? Am I fitting in the way you think I should fit in? And he was like, yeah, you're doing a good job. Looking forward to you coming back from the cruise. And that was it. We went on the Carnival Liberty. And we had a great time on the Carnival Liberty. Here's a little footage of my brother shaking his butt on a bar in Freeport. We all had a great time. It was a 4-day cruise, so we got on Saturday and we got back off the cruise ship on a Tuesday, and that's when it got interesting. My phone was full of messages from the consulting company.
We go bottoms up.
So yeah, I started checking my messages, text messages, please contact the consulting company. And sure enough, I called up my representative there and she said, hey, I just want to let you know they don't want you to come back to that job. I was on the phone, I was looking at Jenny and I was like, they said they don't want me to come back. I've been there 5 days. And I questioned her, I was like, what, did I do something wrong? What happened? And she was like, no, Barry just called, said he doesn't think it's gonna be a good fit. I was like, Barry said I was doing a great job, I don't understand. She's like, yeah, we pushed back hard on him. Just between you and I, he said he felt like maybe you were too busy. So, yeah. So came off a great cruise and then found out that I'd gotten fired from my brand new job that I really needed. It threw me for a loop. I just couldn't imagine losing my job for being passionate about something, for sharing that passion when I was asked about it. I couldn't imagine after somebody telling me I was doing well, make some sort of snap judgment like that after 5 days. I've hired and I've had to let go people before. I've never in 5 days dropped somebody off like that. So it really was playing with my mind. I went into a little bit of depression. It was a job that I needed. I thought I was doing well. And I was really kind of bummed out that just because the guy had asked me about the things I had going on in my life and I was forthcoming with him, that it cost me my job. I guess the alternative was to be like, oh, I don't do anything but wait to do this job. And it was super frustrating. But to be completely fair, again, sometimes in life you got to play the game. I do believe in being honest, and the one time I wasn't honest in this scenario is at that very first interview. I probably should have mentioned to them that I had a trip coming up that probably would have been the most honest thing to do, and maybe that is what cost me my job. Maybe it was showing up at a new job and saying, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going on a great cruise vacation in a week, thank you for hiring me. Maybe my mistake was sharing too much when this guy seemed interested in what I had going on. Maybe I should have kept it close to the vest and said, oh, you know, I don't do much, just happy to have the job. That could have been the solution, but either way, I got fired for being excited about cruising. It still hurts. I'm still a little confused. It didn't take long before I got another job uptown, and there were days where I would walk past the building that I worked at for 5 days, and I wanted to go in and give Barry a piece of my mind. I wanted to really just go in and say, what happened? But I didn't. Jenny told me not to. So it all works out in the end. Maybe losing that job is exactly the job I needed to lose so that I would be sitting here today sharing this story with you and making something new. So yeah. Do you think it was not letting them know in advance? Do you think it was sharing too much? Or did you think Barry is just a jerk face? Have you ever gotten fired from a job? Have you ever gotten fired for a reason you didn't quite understand? Share it in the comments. If you want to see some more videos from the Carnival Liberty, I will leave those videos linked in the description below. Thanks for checking in with us today. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button. And until the next time. See you on the Lido. Bye.